Hey, what's going on YouTube? BDKane721. Another video. Been away a few days, but I'm back. Had a package in the mail today I wanted to get on video, as well as something behind the package, as you can see right there, that I wanted to share with you as well. So I will get into the package for the Mailday right now, but before I do that, I'll show you what that is behind it. It's actually a full box of 1988 Topps trading cards. Oops, actually you can see back then they had this, the box bottom, I guess is what they called them. It actually showed the actual cards from the set. So I picked this one out. I saw this at a yard sale. There were a bunch of them, and this guy had this one, and it had 3 Padres on it, so I thought that was pretty cool. Of course, had the Hall of Famer Tony Gwynn on there, and then everybody knows John Kruk from, I guess, his days on many different teams. I guess the Phillies most notably, but now he's a commentator for ESPN. And then a couple other guys, Darrell Evans you may have heard of, and Marvell Wynn. I'm sure most of you probably have not heard of Marvell Wynn. But this is a full box. Back then, this was the year that I started collecting cards as a kid. So I bought a ton of this stuff. And as you can see, it was only 40 cents back then. But that was a lot of money for a kid, 10, 11. I'm sorry, I wasn't 10, 11. I was more like 14, I guess, back then. 14 or 15. But anyway, it was a lot of money for me, but this was the first set that I really tried to collect a bunch of stuff. Not too much in here. I'll show you. This is what it looks like inside. You got the full packs right here. Even has the gum in it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up off camera and show you what I got out of it. I might open a pack or two here on camera just so you can see it. But let me just open this package I got in the mail real quick. And a couple more cards for my Chrome set right here. A couple of Sepias with Shane Victorino, 2011 Topps Chrome Sepia, I guess it's called, and a 2011 Topps Chrome Sepia Neftali Feliz. So I'm down to, I believe, 6 or 7 cards for this set, so I'm real excited getting close on that one. Real quick, I'll show you one. I'll open one of these packs, I guess, just to kind of give you an idea. Back then, they wrapped them in genuine wax wrapping. Feels like wax paper. And normally when you open up a pack, back then you would get a wax stain on the back, and this one actually you can kind of feel it. You might even be able to see it right there. You get a wax stain that usually makes that last card worthless. Not that these cards are really that valuable anyway. Davey Johnson, manager of the Mets. Jose Cruz, Tim Burstus, Mike Boddicker. There's an Oral Harshiser. It's pretty cool. Whitey Herzog, John Habian. And then during this year they had Spring Fever Baseball. Win a trip for 4 to the 1989 spring training. Don't think I could win that. They had leaders cards back then for each team, which if you look on the back, it showed you the stats from the previous year, who was leading in what category. Mark Gubigza, Mickey Brantley, Mariano Duncan, Bob Tewksbury, John McNamara, Eric Davis. That's pretty cool. He was a pretty awesome player in his day. And Bobby Witt. So as you can see, there's 15 cards in each pack. There's a lot of cards in each pack, so I'm not going to go through every pack here. I just wanted to show you one. Here's the gum. Anybody interested? I'm not trying that. And if you are interested in any of these cards, I'm going to show, I'll go through the good ones. I might connect it to this video, hook it onto the end of this video, so stay tuned if you want to check that out and see what I got. Alright guys, that's it. I will be back with the summary late. So here we go. Here's the results. You can see, I saved one wrapper for you to show you a couple of things, but you can see a mountain of cards here from that box. There were 36 packs, 15 cards in a pack, so you can imagine how many cards that is. Here's the 36 pieces of gum sitting over here in a little mountain, little hill there. It's a lot of gum. Don't think I'm going to be eating it, but just wanted to show it to you. I thought the pack is pretty interesting. I kind of took a look at one of them. Again, it's that wax paper. They have the Spring Fever Baseball Contest shown here on the side, and they have obviously the great graphics that everybody has seen in the past. One thing I just realized or just saw was this little saying here going about teaming up against drugs. Be a superstar, say no to drugs. That was a big campaign back in the 80s and 90s, is to say no to drugs, so I fully support that. And this is a little pile of cards that I thought would be interesting to show everybody. First, they did give you checklist cards back then, and I believe this is the last one in the set of checklist cards, and you can see it's 661 to 792. Back then there were 792 cards in each set, so you can imagine how many cards that is compared to today's sets. They had leader cards. I think I showed you one of these earlier. Here's the Yankees leader with Dave Winfield, and I think that's Willie Randolph on the front. An Orioles leader card with Cal Ripken and Eddie Murray. They also had these turn back to clock cards, which show an older version of a player's card. This one is 1983 Nolan Ryan, 1968 Bob Gibson, 1978 Jim Rice, and 1963 Stan Musial. So kind of cool stuff. And on the back they would talk about the player during that particular year. They also had record breaker cards. I don't know if each team had these or they're just certain ones. Here's a Yankees with Don Mattingly record breaker, and it tells you what he did for that particular year. He had 6 Grand Slams that year, which was a record. Benito Santiago, 34-game hitting streak that year. I got 2 of these Mark McGwire cards, and he, I guess, set the rookie record for home runs that year. They also had all-star cards back then. Roger Clemens, Kirby Puckett, Willie Randolph, Don Mattingly, Alan Trammell, Andre Dawson, Tony Gwynn, Benito Santiago. Just some examples of those. And then some of the base cards. There's no autographs or other kinds of cards, jersey or patch cards in here, as most of you know. Got Canseco. Here's a Mark McGwire. It says Topps All-Star Rookie. It wasn't his rookie card, but he was an All-Star Rookie back then. Eric Davis, Hershiser. Here's a Don Mattingly, Tony La Russa manager cards. They had them back then. Kirby Puckett, Barry Larkin, Barry Bonds, Tim Raines. For those of you who don't know, Tim Raines was my favorite player growing up. I have a ton of his stuff. Hopefully he'll make it into the Hall of Fame pretty soon. Fred McGriff, Darryl Strawberry, Robin Yount, Cal Ripken, George Brett. There's an all-star of Dwight Gooden. Forgot to put him in that pile. Mike Schmidt, Will Clark, Cecil Fielder, Ricky Henderson, Tony Gwynn, Eddie Murray, Tommy Lasorda manager card, another Mark McGwire, Ryan Sandberg, Dwight Gooden, Pete Rose manager card, and Ozzie Smith. So set was loaded with Hall of Famers. As you know, 15 years from now, today's sets will be loaded with Hall of Famers as well. So anyway, if you're interested in any of those cards, let me know. I'd be happy to package them up and send them out to you. I'm not sure if anybody's interested in these base cards. If anybody is, let me know. But otherwise, I'm just going to throw them out. Obviously, if you want the gum, I'll keep it here for you for a little while, and then I'm going to throw it out. All right, guys.